Hello and welcome to your weekly card pull. My name is Alexa. Today I'm doing a reading for the week of September 28th through October 4th of 2025. Today I pulled from the Earth Warriors Oracle deck. Beautiful, beautiful deck. I have two cards that I pulled for this upcoming week, and it looks like you have encouragements to embrace differences and also to embrace the concept of rest in order to create. I'm gonna start out with the I don't even know how to pronounce this, that's very embarrassing, but the Nanu Buluku card. This card emphasizes she rests to create, and the primary focus of this message and for you for the week ahead is to really allow yourself the space, the time, and the grace to actually rest and allow that to be a part of your creative process. Especially if there are areas in your life where you feel like you are pushing yourself, you're pushing yourself unnecessarily, you're working super hard, maybe you're feeling kind of burned out, you don't have the energy, or you feel like maybe your creative outputs are not what you would like them to be. This card is screaming at you that you really need to take time to focus on resting, relaxing, and maybe I don't want to say escaping the world, but escaping the demands of the world and or the demands that you're placing on yourself to show up in the world in a certain way that is almost like what is expected of you or like what society expects of you. So a lot of emphasis just on allowing yourself the peace in order to allow those ideas to come forward. When we are constantly pushing and going and going and going and going, we don't really give ourselves time to create. And this doesn't mean you have to take an entire week off of work, but I would encourage you, if you're feeling particularly tired or depleted, or like you don't have anything left, or you don't have any creative energy or creative power, or you're trying to force a project or force something to happen, try to do something that is vastly different than what you've been trying, i.e. pushing to get a certain result, and see if that might actually help. I know that this isn't exactly resting, but sometimes, I guess it depends on how you look at it, but sometimes when I have had creative blocks or mental blocks, getting out of the routine that I'm in or the space that I'm in and just going for a walk can really help to clear the head and open up space for you to almost like create peace within yourself, so that you're not coming from a place of intensity that doesn't really serve your creative process. So take what you will. Some of you may need to literally take a nap or literally take a break or take a day off. Some of you might just need to change your surroundings or allow yourself the mental bandwidth to not have the answers for 5 minutes. Just like for 5 minutes, let yourself not know the answer and find peace with that, and then progressively that 5 minutes may become 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You don't have to do this like titration type of exercise, but I do feel like for some of you that might be helpful. And if you feel called to trying that, it might be worthwhile and worth your time, because ultimately if you're running around and constantly being busy and busy and busy, you're just putting more into your head, you're just consuming more, you're consuming more information, you're consuming more from the world around you. And I sometimes feel that nature is the only thing that we can consume that's not going to be inherently overstimulating. So if you're constantly keeping yourself busy with projects, with thoughts, with emails, with conversations, with work, you're likely blocking the piece of your brain that you need to be accessing to have the ultimate level of creativity that you need for whatever projects it is that you are trying to put together. Also, there's a big emphasis on appreciating and respecting your own energy and respecting that certain things can amplify and increase the energy levels that you have. And so those may look different for different people. Again, for some of you that might be going on a walk, some of you that may be reading, for some of you that may be taking a nap, for some of you that may be taking a bath or going to I almost said see a movie. I guess for some of you that could work, but just doing something to get out of the hustle and bustle and grind and the effort. I feel like what I'm really getting at, and what this card is really getting at, is whatever intensive effort cycle you've been stuck in, this is a really good time to release that and to trust that you have the energy within you. And that energy and peacefulness that's required to bring these ideas is definitely on the cards for this week, which is fantastic. But high energy doesn't necessarily mean highly stimulating. Again, it's just a re-energization? I don't even know if that's a word. It's just a re-energizing of yourself through things like peacefulness, which again is not always inherently stimulating. And we, if you live in the Western world, likely grow up in a culture where being overstimulated is almost the norm. That's like what we're used to. So to take time away from that and just allow yourself to just be and to just create is challenging work, and it goes against the norms. But I do feel like if you're trying to bring something to fruition or trying to figure something out, trying to problem solve creatively or create a new solution for something, or a new art piece or whatever it may be, taking some time to rest and recover will potentially be helpful. Final thing that really, really stuck out to me with this card, I'm going to read this directly from the book. What you need is faith in the fundamental goodwill that the divine has toward you and your life purpose, the reason for which you signed up for life in the first place. You don't have to orchestrate the details of your life nor figure everything out or anything out on your own. You don't need to have signs to prove something is happening every single day. So if your effort is coming from a place of, I need to prove to myself that this is going to work, I need to prove to myself that this is going to work out, then taking that step back and instead getting in touch with your sense of faith within yourself, within the divine, is likely a better use of your resources. So I would encourage you to pay attention to where you're pouring your energy, and also why. Mel Robbins has talked about this on her podcast. I'm sure other people have as well. Sometimes it can be helpful to ask the question why 5 times to really get to the bottom of your, I want to say your impulses or your inspirations for doing certain things. So if, as an example, you have a creative project and you're like, I have to, I don't know, spend 20 minutes a day whiteboarding this. Ask yourself why, and you go through that 5 times until you come at a much deeper point, which is, for a lot of people, if, you know, since I pulled this card, it may be coming from a place of insecurity. It may be coming from a place of, I don't trust that the universe has my back. I don't trust that I have my back. I don't trust that it's going to work out. So I have to work extra super fucking hard to make sure that it works out. And that mentality is going to burn you out in the long run. So if that resonates with you, big encouragement to allow yourself to rest and allow your mind to rest and not give in to that intensity with this like need to know, need to figure everything out right away all the time. Second card that I pulled was the beautiful card of Pachamama, she with the Andean Emerald Heart. And this card has a lot of themes that have to do with combining different backgrounds, different people, different ideas. It sort of speaks to like biodiversity and the importance of our environment to have things that are different. We can't just have like a plot of land with all corn and then nothing else on the land. Like there has to be soil, there has to be worms, there have to be fertilizer. Like there's so many other things that will go into the ecosystem. And then beyond that, animals nearby in the area. Like having a less isolated view of how things need to be and accepting that sometimes those differences are very important, even though they can be uncomfortable. They can reveal things to us that are uncomfortable. Pachamama's message is that that is all part of life, and it is as such for a reason. And these differences have something worthwhile to teach us that will also probably be helpful for us to look at in addition to taking time to rest and recover this week. A couple of things that I want to read with this card directly from the book. 1, life thrives through diversity. Sometimes this can be really hard, especially if you grew up with parents where righteousness was really important, or in a religion where righteousness was really important, and you have this very strong, which not to pass judgment, but if you have a very strong need to be right internally, or a strong feeling of like, well, my way is the way that has to be right, and that's what everyone else has to do, and if they're not doing it, then something's not right, then you're really depriving yourself of the ability to expand your horizons in some way. Of course, morals are important, ethics are important. I'm not going to dismiss those. Please don't gaslight yourself. Listen to your intuition and whatnot. But there is a point where sometimes you can meet people and they're good people and they just have different views on things, and that's not necessarily a problem, and it's not something that you need to be trying to convert or change or shift in them. They're entitled to their own opinions and their own perspectives. Life thrives through diversity. Sometimes being different is not a bad thing. Sometimes being different is a gift. Sometimes having people around you that are different is also a gift. They have something that they can teach you that's different from what you currently know. Whether or not you are going to choose to believe that is a separate thing, but being open to those differences and open to being around things that are potentially a little different from you might serve your growth as well. This also has themes of trust in things that are different, trust in change of paths, trust in change of life, changes in your life that might be happening. The first card that I pulled, I feel like has a lot more to do with faith, and like a faith that like something has got your back, that being the divine, God, universal spirit, earth, Pachamama, whatever, having faith that something has your back. And then the Pachamama card, I get a little bit more of a having trust in the changes that are happening, that may be reflecting back to you, like areas where you need to have a little bit more faith and you need to have a little bit more trust. So two really big themes for this upcoming week is getting in touch with those sides of yourself that have a level of trust and faith, even if things are different than what you expected, even if they're different than what you anticipated, what you wanted, or different than how you anticipated things would go, because you've opened yourself up to a new way of being, a new energetic, a new frequency, different kinds of people, different kinds of ideas, different belief systems. So there may be some changes happening. Those could be on micro levels, those could be on macro levels. A big encouragement with Pachamama is do not hold back from what is happening. Things need to change, so let them change. If it seems chaotic or overwhelming, please do have faith in the concept that you don't need to figure it all out, and that will help you relax. Again, with not having to have it all figured out right away, it allows you the space to relax and allow the wisdom of what's happening on a deeper level to unfold, so you're not attached to the more surface level aspects of everything that might be going on around you. Again, what does this do? It opens space up for you. It opens space up for your creativity. It opens space up for your projects. It opens space up for your heart. It opens space up for your love, for your compassion, for the things that maybe have felt hard for you to bring forward. So there's a lot of beauty that this upcoming week holds for us. There is also a sense from both of these cards that there's a level of peace and harmony and comfort that's on its way, even if it doesn't feel like it's imminently present right now. So if you're experiencing some turbulence in these arenas, there is encouragement that things will fall into place and shift into gears in a way that feels good for you. Even if right now it feels a little bit overwhelming and you're like, things are different now. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to make sense of that. Finally, Pachamama also comes with a message that holding space has power, holding space for things that are different, holding space for complexity, holding space for other people, holding space for what is going on in life around you, as well as holding space for yourself and what is going on within you. Again, rest and recovery, that holding space for your own peace and allowing space, like space is a very big word. So allowing yourself to have that in a way that feels good for you, and also to allow yourself to become comfortable with that, because it is good for you on some extent. It's good to be connected. It's also good to have a level of space and differentiation. I can't do words today. Space and differentiation are both important, but that doesn't mean that you have to like push everything away. It doesn't mean you have to put a full stop on your life. So finding ways to move forward where you're still honoring the faith and the trust that you can have in the universe, and the areas where maybe you haven't had that and you'd like to develop and hone that skill, you have some really beautiful opportunities this upcoming week. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below or shoot me a message at alexab.alchemy. I do these readings every single week, so if you are not already subscribed, please make sure that you do, especially if you found it helpful. You can leave a little thumbs up or comment below. Also helps me know that these readings are resonating. All right, thank you guys so much. I love you. I'll see you next week.